All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel on Houston Rockets Daily. We got another Rockets video for you guys. We're going to talk about Eric Gordon today, but before we get into it, if you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for daily Rockets content. Eric Gordon, he is having a phenomenal season, and actually the reason I wanted to make this video was because of a tweet from Clutch fans, and I'll read it off right now. Before I do, actually, unfortunately, Eric Gordon, he's missing tonight. You know, they're gonna rest him for tonight's back-to-back against the Memphis Grizzlies, which, I mean, it really sucks, man. It actually really sucks because we're without Jalen Green, we're without Kevin Porter Jr., obviously, and we're even without guys like Danuel House Jr. I'm going to make a preview video probably soon after this, but it's not looking good for tonight. I know it is next man up, but Eric Gordon was a huge piece and a huge reason to that Rockets win streak. And the Memphis Grizzlies, even without Ja Morant, are playing phenomenal. I mean, they literally went on a 5-game run where they were not losing at any point in the entire 5 games. That broke NBA history. So Memphis is a very talented basketball team, and we really could have used Eric Gordon tonight, but they're going to give him the night off for rest, which long-term is probably smart if you're trying to unload Eric Gordon at some point. But here's the tweet from Clutch fans without further ado. Eric Gordon is shooting 43.6% from 3 this year. He also has the best defensive field goal percentage, 31.8 of any player who has defended at least 100 shots this season. So the main reason I wanted to make this video was because I was watching the Rockets-Bucks game last night. My roommate came in, and he was wondering about Eric Gordon. And he was like, you know, what can Eric Gordon give you defensively? And I'm like, you know, I've never really viewed Eric Gordon as like a clamp. I've never viewed him as a perimeter lockdown defender. But Eric Gordon can definitely play defense. Like, he can definitely play defense. He can definitely hold his own. But I didn't have like any stats. I didn't have this stat or anything like that to kind of back up my reasoning. So I was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess he's above average because that's what my eyes think. But like at the same time, sometimes his defense is lackluster, but you know, so is everyone. So I was like, I don't really know. That's like a really good question. You know, I don't really know. And then I saw this tweet from Clutch fans today that says Eric Gordon has the best defensive field goal percentage of anyone who has defended 100 shots this season. I mean, it's not like, I'm looking at this tweet, it's not like there's, you know, he's, you know, the best defensive field goal percentage of any guard or any, you know, Western Conference player or any player on the Rockets. It's of anyone. That is truly a phenomenal stat. Like, I almost can't really believe it. It's crazy to me. And then when we take a look at Eric Gordon's stats on the season, let me just pull these up. 14.4 points per game, but he's shooting 47.5%, and he's also shooting 43.6% from downtown. So he's doing all this. He's taking less shots. He's taking less field goal attempts. He's taking less threes per game, and it's really worked well in his favor. Just kind of more picking and choosing and deciding, you know, all right, let's, you know, maybe try and get other guys involved, or, you know, maybe this isn't the best shot attempt. So Eric Gordon, I think it's pretty clear right now that he's definitely trying to help the Rockets, right? And, you know, us Rocket fans, we love and respect Eric Gordon, and we will always have love for Eric Gordon. I think, like, even just from my standpoint, like, he's done so much for Houston. He's been here for, like, you know, over 5 years, almost 6 years now. I want to see him succeed, man. Like, I really just want to see him succeed. He went from, you know, being a game away from making the NBA Finals, you know, Western Conference, you know, basically going from Western Conference Finals with James Harden to 21 straight losses and the second worst record in the NBA. And it's like, or the worst record in the NBA. Sorry, it's like, I just feel for him. Then you come back this year, you lose 15 straight games, and then you win 7 straight, and it's like, I mean, John Wall is not playing. It's like, this probably isn't Eric Gordon's best scenario. Like, he probably isn't all that thrilled that he is, you know, here in Houston, as opposed to, you know, a contending team where these games mean a lot. But I know Eric Gordon, I mean, he's such a professional. Like, he is such a nice veteran, that he is mentoring these guys. He's setting an example. He's not bitching and moaning. He's not like complaining like guys like Harden and PJ Tucker when they weren't happy. It's like Eric Gordon he probably knows like, all right, my time here in Houston is limited, whether that's because of a trade or whether that's just because my contract's going to be up in about 2 years. So he's probably just trying to savor it, stay healthy, keep working, keep improving his basketball game. The good thing that I think Eric Gordon probably realizes this, and I don't know if like John Wall realizes, but like basically ever since Rafael Stone has become the Rockets GM, he has put all of like the Rocket OGs in the proper locations. I mean, just take like, the big two are James Harden and PJ Tucker. Like, he literally put James Harden, who wanted out so badly, he put him on a team that he wanted to go to, probably the team he wanted to go to the most by far, with Kevin Durant and with Kyrie Irving. So he puts him on that team, and some way, somehow, Rafael Stone gets like great value back from it too. PJ Tucker gets good value, gets a first-round draft pick for PJ Tucker, like old man PJ Tucker, and he also puts him on the defending champions, the team that goes on and wins the championship that year, the Milwaukee Bucks. So I think Eric Gordon in the back of his head knows, like, if I do end up get traded, or he's probably thinking when I get traded, it's going to be in a spot that is going to be like a good situation for me. Like, I don't think Rafael Stone would put Eric Gordon in a position where he's going to get screwed. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, Eric Gordon, he wants Eric Gordon to win, but he also wants the Houston Rockets to win, and he knows there's somehow a way to make that happen, as there was with James Harden and as there was with PJ Tucker. I know it doesn't make sense like right now, but once it happens, it'll be like, oh shit, yeah, he did it. So Eric Gordon, I still want to see him. I still want him to come off the bench when he comes back from injury, because really, I mean, there isn't much of a reason to have Eric Gordon starting when KPJ and Jalen Green come back. I think Garrison Matthews should be the three. I would love to just run a lineup of KPJ, Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews, Jae'Sean Tate, and Christian Wood. I don't really understand why I get a lot of comments actually like, who goes to the bench? Like, should we put Jalen Green on the bench so Garrison Matthews can keep starting? And it's like, why is Jalen Green going to the bench? Like, put Eric Gordon on the bench, the guy who is suited for the bench, like the guy who was won Sixth Man of the Year before, like the guy who his biggest draw is that he's a bench player. Like, teams want Eric Gordon because he is a guy you can still give like 28 minutes, 29, 30 minutes, but he comes off of the bench and he can close out games. So, take what you will about Eric Gordon in the starting lineup, but I don't think too many Rocket fans would complain with what I mentioned: Kevin, Jalen, Garrison, Jae'Sean, and Christian Wood. Like, I don't think many Rocket fans really would actually complain about that too much. So Eric Gordon, I hope he gets thrown onto the bench, because I honestly think that's where he would rather be. Like, and you can still close out games with Eric Gordon. I personally don't really want Eric Gordon to close out games because, while he did have that game winner against the Orlando Magic, I still feel like he's kind of a loose cannon. And you don't really remember that until it happens and until he kind of messes up something late in the game where it's like, God damn it. But you just soon forget about that because it's Eric Gordon and, he's so loved and he's such a beast that it's like you just kind of forget about that. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Post Rockets content every single day. And I'll see you guys probably right after this with a game preview for later tonight. Peace.